Hello, everyone. Welcome to this work from home workshop, which is featuring women in music or music in gaming. We're so excited to have this workshop, and it is sponsored by Urban Outfitters. That's right. Do you see all of this fantasticness that's happening behind me? It's happening because of our friends at Urban Outfitters. So take a look at this and this. And we even have a little
Amazing.
bit of this.
Oh,
Anyway, yes. Did I pull this out? Yes, I did. I
wow.
know, we really did that. But speaking of which, going off to our talent for today, we have some awesome women in music. We have MXMTOON Maya, we have DJ SOSUPERSAM, and we have Abby Jasmine. We're going to be chatting it up today, and we're going to be also raising money for Girls Who Code. And if you don't know what Girls Who Code is, let me just tell you a little bit about them. They're a nonprofit organization that aims to support and increase the number of women in computer science. That's right, we want all of our young girls, our women getting in there and doing all of the things in STEM because we love to see that. They want to close the gender gap in a new entry level tech jobs. And of course, they have programs such as school clubs, lesson plans for teachers, 2-week virtual summer camps, college programs, and everything in between. If you want more details, you will use the command Girls Who Code or go to girlswhocode.com. And all of the portions today that we are going to be donating for will be going straight to Girls Who Code. If you want more details on how to donate, you use the donate command. And there are awesome prizes for you to get once you donate. So you can get merch for any donations 25 and over, and you can get even $10 Urban Outfitter gift cards. So use the donate command, and you will get all of the details when you click the rewards part. Now, let's talk a little bit about our ladies here today. First up, again, like I said, we have singer-songwriter Maya, MXMTOON, so excited. We have DJ singer and radio host, So Super Sam, amazing. I'm also pointing in these directions, but like we'll just pretend that they're on this way. Use your imagination, totally fine. And we have recording artist Abby Jasmine. We are ready to go. And our first question, now I'm going to stop doing all of the talking. My first question to them always is going to be introduce themselves, what they do, their favorite game, and a fun fact. We love a good fun fact. So I'm going to kick it off to you, Maya, first. Feel free
Okay.
to take it away.
All right. Okay, so my name is Maya or MXMToon. That's my artist name, and I do a handful of things besides make music. I stream on Twitch. I run a podcast that I do every single day. It's about history and music facts, and um,
Wow.
I do art for other artists and everything. So I do a lot of things, and my favorite video game right now is Valorant. I That's like my favorite FPS game that I've played in a really long time. And a fun fact about me, and this is really embarrassing and nerdy, but I used to play Quidditch when I was 12 years old. There you go. Don't know how fun that is, but, like, it's really
Man,
embarrassing.
that's a phenomenal fun fact. I need to put that
Thank
on my
you.
list. That's phenomenal. Wait, pause. Does that mean like you were like on a broom and like running around like, hey?
Okay, so we were 12 and our parents were funding this adventure, and we couldn't buy brooms, so instead we took, like, PCB pipes, which are just, like, plastic pipes, and we made them about the length of a broom, but if you can imagine, like, a field of middle schoolers, like, running around with plastic pipes, like, that was my only friend group. We were not making friends beyond that. That was
All
it.
That's all the
right.
friends you need. I feel like that's all the friends you
Just friends in PVC pipe. What could you ask
Yeah,
for?
exactly.
need.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you here today. Sam, up next. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm based in LA, and my artist name is So Super Sam. I use that name for DJing, for singing, and as a radio host. You can find me streaming here on Twitch weekly. I do DJ sets, and then on the daily, I host a radio show on Sirius XM. I play a lot of cool artists such as MXMTOON. And basically, 88 Rising Radio is the channel that I work on, and that pushes Asian artists all over the globe. So, really stoked to be doing that. And here's something fun about me. Oh yeah, well, I told everyone earlier, but here's a fun fact. This is like my life source. Haribo cherries are my favorite candy, my favorite gummy, and my life source.
Wow. Okay, you heard
Very
it here
cool.
first. It's like running through your veins, just the
Yeah.
Haribo cherries. Love to see it. Well, perfect. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here. And
Yeah,
you
thanks so much.
killed it in the DJ set right before this. We were vibing, we were bopping out. So it was amazing.
Thank you.
Now on to you, Abby. Take it away.
Woo! Okay, hey everybody. My name is Abby Jasmine. I'm from New York. I'm a singer-songwriter. My favorite game right now, probably of all time, is probably Sims 4. Love Sims.
Good choice.
Crazy about Sims. I own a strip club in Sims. Life is crazy out there. A fun fact about me is, I like to paint. I think it's fun. Hold on, let me show you one of my paintings.
Yes, I was just
Go.
gonna say, love it.
I also
And-
forgot to tell you my favorite game, so I'll tell you after.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
wondering.
right. I'm so curious.
I was wondering.
This is my painting.
Oh, beautiful.
Good.
Oh, ma'am.
Thanks, guys.
I
You know,
love the colors. The gradients are so
dabble.
pretty.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
what
guys.
medium? Is it acrylic?
Yeah, this is acrylic.
Wow, that's really difficult.
Very
especially in that.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
took
the
it
rest-
up like
that's the
random
whole stream.
hobby.
That's the whole
Love
stream.
that.
We're done. Thank you so much. This was a painting stream. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to donate. We're good. That's great though.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
So cool.
Sam, do you want to say your favorite game
Oh,
before
yes.
we continue?
I forgot to tell you guys my favorite game. So my favorite game is Type Racer. It is a
Yes.
it's
Yes.
a speed typing competition exercise, and I've streamed it on Twitch before. And I quickly rose to become the #1 Type Racer stream on Twitch.
What?
Yeah. Also,
Wow.
because I was the only stream.
Oh my god. Wait, so what's your word per minute?
Yeah, tell
mine,
us.
I'm not. I thought I was bomb. Honestly, I was like, yeah, let me come through. I'm gonna fucking put my streaming and my typing on the stream. I have nothing to lose. I got 92 words per minute. Come at me, bro.
Whoa.
So I started streaming, and one day, out of the blue, and like 5 minutes later, all of the competitive typers found the stream, and they started blowing up my spot with like 226 words per minute. Yes. And I met like the top 5 fastest typers in the world. They all came to my stream, and I was like, how did you find me? And they're like, you're the only person on Twitch streaming typing. And so we all got on Discord and rated you.
Wow.
And, and so that was my short jaunt into Type Racer, but I was able to meet some really interesting people, a lot of cool people that way. And I still have yet to like get better at typing. I definitely got pwned.
It's okay.
I got my ass handed to me in typing, but that's okay. I made a lot of friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's way different from my experience streaming Type Racer. I did not have those people coming into my stream. I just had people coming in saying like you're slow. So that was a little different, but it's okay. Like it's fine. We all have different experiences.
It's all fun. It's all fun.
I love that. Okay, well, perfect. Thank you so much for your introductions. And if anyone is just tuning in, we are doing our stream, Music and Gaming. We have our guests, MXMTOON Maya, SOSUPERSAM, and Abby Jasmine. We are doing this in partnership with Urban Outfitters, and we are raising money for charity for Girls Who Code. And it is amazing. If you need more information, use the command charity or donate to figure out how to donate and what you can win and all of that good stuff. But we're going to get right into the nitty gritty, starting with a few questions for these fun ladies here. First and foremost, of course, we always want to get the lowdown on how you got into music and all of that good stuff. If you want to keep it, I would actually ask if you want to talk about it in a haiku, but I feel like all 3 of you probably have a little bit longer of a story than 3 lines of 575 syllable. So I'll give you a little bit more than a haiku to explain. But starting with you, Maya, what was your background and how did you get into music and where you are right now?
Yeah, I'll try and keep it as short as I can. I was actually forced to play music from as like a young age because my mom is Chinese, and so it's like a requirement when you're an Asian child to like learn how to play a classical instrument.
Sure.
So I hated music for a very long time and never wanted to become a musician for a living. And eventually I started releasing stuff on SoundCloud when I was in high school, and then got to the point where I was deciding what to do for college. realized that maybe I don't want to go to college, and so I started focusing on music, and I've been doing that ever since.
That's awesome. That was actually very short. I love that. What
Okay,
instrument
good.
did you play?
I was actually trained on cello and violin, so
Ah,
both of
Oh,
those.
wow.
love a good cello like Jack Black. Oh my god, that is amazing. That's really great. Do you think you can still play right now, either the violin or cello?
I have lost so much of my knowledge. My mom, I'm sure, is very sad about it, but, like,
Mm.
yeah, I couldn't do it.
You're gonna need to bring it back for like a TikTok and then you'll kill it. Love that.
Exactly. That'll
That's
force me.
awesome. How
Thank
about you,
you.
Sam?
I let's see. I mean, I grew up very musically as a kid, singing, dancing, musical theater. I grew up around a lot of DJs, and it was very expensive at the time as a kid to try to become a DJ because you needed a lot of money and equipment. So I kind of saved that till I had a jobby job, and I was working a little 9 to 5. And I finally like got enough money to buy some turntables and moonlight as a DJ. And eventually, I mean, that was 11 years ago. So it slowly turned into a full time gig. And then was able to tour that way. And I started a party with some DJ pals called 143, and that's in LA. And yeah, it sort of just evolved from there into releasing my own music as an artist. And yeah, and now it's sort of pivoting into radio. So just finding new ways to stay in music and keep it fresh for myself.
That's awesome. What was your 9 to 5 job that you worked in order to save money for a turntable?
I worked in advertising.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a little jobby job in advertising, and then I worked in fashion PR before I made the full switch to DJing full time.
that's awesome. Yeah, I know you're like probably the first or one of the first, if not the first, like female DJ I personally knew from like college. So I remember when I was going to 143, I had heard of 143. I was like, what is this? Who is that girl that she's so awesome? Like, this is amazing. So you've been around the scene for a minute and you've probably done a lot of great work in the whole community, at least within LA and DJing and everything like that. So you've been doing great.
Thank you.
How about you, Abby? Tell us a little bit about your history, everything like that, and how you
Um,
got here.
yeah, so my story is a little bit similar, like I grew up around a musical family. My dad plays like every instrument in the world. I don't know how he does it. He just does. And so with that, I kind of got not forced, but like, I just started playing piano. Don't ask me to play piano now because I can't do any of that. But
The one behind you is
yeah,
fake. It's just like a poster.
no, this is my boyfriend. I have a piano somewhere in here. I don't know where it went. It like disappeared, but I'm trying to like get back into it. But yeah, I was singing in church, gospel rapping, all that stuff, and I was just like, this might not be for me.
Mhm.
So I was working a lot of like odd jobs, call centers, chicken spots, and I just couldn't keep a job. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I started recording some music. A lot of people, like it, and now I'm here talking to y'all.
That's so
I think that's
awesome.
so interesting that all three of us have the story of we almost just tried to resist music, but music found us and was like, no,
Hmm.
no, no, you need to stop that over there and
Right.
start doing music.
Exactly. It
So
was meant to be. It
that's
was
cool.
really meant to be. That's cool. I'm gonna go backwards and chat with you guys in regards to school. A lot of people, maybe in the generations before us, even my generation, of course, we want to make sure that we are trying to pursue a degree that really makes sense in what we want to do. But in regards to music, of course, did you guys go to school? Did you major in what you're doing right now? Like, what was that looking like? And I'll start back with you, Abby. Did you go to school? Like college, and did you major in anything regarding music, or was this like completely different?
Nah, I really didn't have the chance to go to college. It was all just stuff I had learned growing up, being in high school. Like my high school was very like focused on art. It wasn't like a performing arts high school, but they were like very centered on arts. So like I would be in a lot of concerts. I would do like, basically anything. I was in the choir, jazz band, stuff like that. So that was able to like, help nurture that. But like after high school, I was just like, nah, college. I just did 12 years of school. So
Yes,
I
I
don't
feel
think I want
you.
to do another.
Another X4, it could be even
Yeah,
longer.
another 4. If I want to be a doctor, it's 8. I'm
Oh,
okay.
oof, yeah. But that's awesome that like you had that within at least your high school and upbringing to kind of like help nurture that. And again, like Sam was
Word.
mentioning before, kind of like even though you guys all resisted, somehow that upbringing and that musical background made it its way back to you. And that's probably the most natural fit and the most natural talent for all three of you as well. So that's cool. How about you, Sam? Any college, anything towards music, education, anything like that?
Well, I'll say similar to Abby is that I really made the most out of any extracurricular offered to me that was musically related. But beyond that, I was, destined for educational greatness. I was supposed to go to college, which I did, and I was very focused on school. And a lot of the extracurriculars were just that, it was meant to just be a hobby, something you do on the side. And so I got my degree from UCSD in economics with a minor in Japanese studies. And I was interning at Morgan Stanley. I was ready, and I think that, I ended up not using my degree really.
Right.
But I really, looking back, I don't think it's necessary if you want to pursue music but I got a lot of life experience from my time in college and I don't regret it at all. I made a lot of amazing friends. I learned a lot of things about life. This is an expensive lesson, you know
For sure.
but I had the best time. I just love school. So I know it's not for everybody, but if it is for you, just go because it's fun. I love school. So
I feel you. I feel that exact sentiment. That's really awesome. I'm learning so much about all of you, and like, it's really crazy that you have that full major background that I had no idea, and like, it's just so crazy to me to even know that that's what's happening behind the scenes for you. So that's really, really awesome. That's really awesome to learn. What about you, Maya? Anything in regards to education, higher education for music, anything in between? What
Yeah,
happened?
I mean, I feel like I actually had like a very middle of the road experience, like mixture of between Abby and Sam. Like
Mhm.
I went to a technical arts high school, so it was a place where I was supposed to be focusing on like
so
I did
cool.
like metalworking and woodworking and like jewelry
Ooh.
design and like
Oh,
all these
wow.
weird ass subjects that like were not going to be applicable at all to like my day-to-day life. But I actually studied architecture for like almost 4 years of high school, and that was what I was applying for college when I was going to leave and graduate.
Wow.
And so that's a 5-year degree, and I was thinking about it and how much money that was going to be, and I was starting to do music in the background of what I was doing in school, and I decided that, like, I think that I'm just gonna give this a shot. I told my parents, I said, "Can I take a gap year to just focus on music?" Both my parents are teachers, and they nearly had a heart attack at the thought that their child
Yeah,
wasn't going to college.
Right.
Um,
that's
but,
crazy. Mhm.
like, they let me have a shot at it and, like, just try and see what it was gonna be like, and, now I'm on an indefinite hiatus from the educational system, and I'm completely fine with that, but, I mean, I also was somebody who loves school, and I think I found a lot of purpose out of, like, attending classes and being able to, like, express and experience different interests that I have, and I think there's a lot of, value in college if that's something you wanna do, but not every path requires that, and I think there's a lot of things that you can learn even outside of it, so I'm not in college, and I just got my high school diploma, and I'm still vibing, and it's been totally
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Still vibing. That's what I love. Yeah,
Vibing.
what you were mentioning is very true. Like, as long as you can stick to your own path and really make sure you're putting 110% in whatever you want to be doing, like that's the most important part. Whether you are educated in that or not, like as long as you are putting your full self in there to kind of make sure you're succeeding, that's the best you can do, and that's what the best results are going to be coming from you. So that's really awesome
Yeah.
from all three of you. Okay, I want you guys to close your eyes and think about a little bit of your first like point, or like your first, yeah, what point was it that you knew that you wanted to make music your career? Like, so was there like a certain day where like a song played and you're like, nope, this is, yeah, we're going this direction? Or like maybe there was one day where you put out a lot of mix CDs or something. Yeah, I'm saying CDs now because like that's dating myself a little bit. But maybe there was like a CD that a mix CD you put out there and you're like, it finally got picked up from somebody random and you're like, this is my time to shine. So what was that one turning point for you, if you can remember? And I'm going to start with you, Maya. So let me know if you've thought of something.
I think my turning point before of just being like a teenager who was just releasing songs on the internet and really not connecting the fact that any person was actually listening to me, even though there was like numbers on my screen. I
Mhm.
woke up one morning to Hypebeast writing an article that mentioned me, and like I was like a 17-year-old kid who was just like messing around on her ukulele and putting it onto YouTube, and they were like, "You should watch this tiny teenager make songs and listen to the things she's making." And I was like, I guess maybe I do have something like valid to share with the world. And at that point, like my parents had no idea what I was doing online. And so I had to tell them. And I was like, okay, I think telling my parents and sharing with my family what I was doing was kind of like this switching and turning point where I could really understand that this was something that I wanted to chase after and see if I could make it happen. So yeah, that was one of the coolest things that happened.
That's awesome. Wait, was the actual wording like tiny teenager? Do you know?
No, I'm just
Because I
making it
was
more
like, that'd
dramatic
be
with
a
these.
I love that. We love a good alliteration, love a tiny, like, wow, you think I'm tiny? We love that. So that's amazing. But maybe in your memory now, it's gonna be tiny teenager and that's it. I love
It's in
that.
my memory, and that's the most accurate one, it's fine.
What about you, Sam? Do you remember any turning point or any moment where you're like, yes, this is my calling, we're gonna go, we're gonna fly?
Sure. I mean, I think I've always just really tried to straddle the working world with the creative artistic world. And that's sort of been my existential dilemma my whole life. And I do remember I was working in advertising and in fashion PR. And then I got an opportunity to tour with an artist as their DJ. And that was sort of, the decision making point for me, because to go on tour I would have to quit my job.
Right.
And I knew in my heart of hearts, like there was no hesitation, like I'm not choosing the cubicle over the stage. So that came to me pretty quickly, and it was just a matter of like, all right, let's take the leap. I have literally nothing to stand on when after I jump, but we'll just see. And I had enough faith to do that, and yeah, never look back. So it's
That's
good.
really awesome. Was the DJ that you were DJing for like somebody you really liked? Was it someone close to you, or was it like kind of like random, like a friend of a friend of a friend, and you're like, I'm still down? Like, what was that relationship like?
Yeah, it was it was early Childish Gambino.
Gosh, that is
Oh, that's
wild.
the best
Oh my
one.
god.
Yeah, so
Oh
it
my
was really,
gosh.
really cool. It was a very cool validation for me. He found one of my mixes, my only mix at the time. I'd been DJing for a year, and I made one mix. It took me 30 days to make one 15-minute mix on GarageBand at the time, and I happened to put it up on my fashion blog, and he found it. And he said, "Are you busy? Like, can you DJ my house party?" I said, okay. And
Oh my gosh.
we stayed in touch for a couple of years, and he asked me to go on his first tour. So I was not going to say no. This was a friend of mine at that time already. So it was just yeah, and he was just like, you shouldn't be working. You need to be on stage. You're a performer. You're an
Yeah.
artist. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
So
that was
glad.
a nice encouragement there.
That is
Really
super,
dope.
super awesome. That was so
Yeah.
super awesome. How about you, Abby? What was that turning point or that moment when you're like, music is my thing, everything else can go away?
Okay, so right. So I think I was 18, and like I was saying, I was working a lot of like I had graduated a year early, so I was working a lot of like jobs. My parents didn't have money to really send me to college. I wasn't really trying to take out money to go to college, so I was working all these jobs, and I think I had got fired from this call center. I had worked there for like a week or something, and they
Mhm.
fired me because I took too many vacation days. But that's besides the point,
Mm.
But but I had gotten fired, like me and my parents weren't seeing eye to eye. So, I was living, in another space, and I didn't really have options like that, like I just started thinking about like, all right, so what am I good at? Let's see. Okay, music, cool. There are people on the internet, because I was on Vine and I made like, a cool little following on Vine. So people on the internet were like, yo, start rapping. And I was like, no. But then, when you at your lowest point in life, it's just like, all right, I'm a rap. Let's do it. Let's try it. Um, so yeah, and that's I feel like that was the turning point, just being broke and realizing that maybe this is gonna be, my way out.
That's really awesome. Wow. First off, Vine throwback. Miss it, but like here we
Right.
are.
Shout out to Vine.
Shout out to Vine. We did it
Vine
for the
and
Vine.
CDs. Shout out to
Vine
Vine
and
and
CDs.
CDs.
You're
Z.
correct.
The
That's
age
really
is showing.
I know it's kind of scary. We're just gonna pretend we're really cool. Like, oh yeah, Gen Z.
I
What?
know.
Center part,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's okay, it's center part, it's fine. That's really awesome though. I think all three of you guys had like different moments that are obviously, just they're various for each of your guys' lives, but it's really, really cool and kind of interesting that it happens in all different parts of your life as well, whether it's happening right after college, right? Or right after high school, right during the midst of, a gap year or whatnot. Like it's all happening for everyone at different times, and I think that's super important for everyone to understand that that can also happen. Real quick, while like a little follow up to that question, like how like and again because we just chatted about with Abby, like how did your parents feel about it? Do they support it? Do they like are they don't care? Like what happened? And I'll go backwards really quick. Abby, like what was the parent situation like with that or the support?
Okay, so at first it was like, because my parents are pastors, very religious, like they don't play is God and music in my house. So they weren't feeling it, obviously. They had to find out from people that went to my church about my music and whatnot, because like I didn't even want to really have that conversation with them. But now like I'm an adult, I'm grown,
Mm-hmm.
like this
Yes, you
is this
are.
is what I'm doing, and they support me in everything. Obviously things take time, but we have a great relationship. Love my parents.
That's awesome. That is so great to like know that time definitely heals and it definitely helps support.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. How about you, Sam?
Time definitely helps for sure. My parents were not very supportive at first. Mainly, they were concerned because they were like, "Why are you leaving your job? You had job security. You had a 401k. You actually like were making pretty good money. We also just put you through a lot of private school. So, what are you doing? DJing? What is that? I mean." I think it was just like breaking this lifelong philosophy that music and creativity was meant to just be a side hobby. So for me to start making that my main thing was very foreign to them, foreign to me. I didn't really even understand how that could be viable. And that I'd be able to support myself. So naturally they were very concerned. And they were not on board, but they started to slowly become on board as I was able to show them I could take care of myself, paying off my loans and, but definitely at my lowest point, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this, Mom, but I also need to move back into your house. I
Yes.
only have $44 in my bank account and I have no plan. So you get it, right? And they're like, no, we don't like anything that you're saying. But over time, like Abby says, if you stick to it and you chip away at this idea and you start to build something, and they can start to see that you're still alive, you're taking care of yourself, you're making an honest living, then they're good, and now, they're my biggest supporters. They're like listening to the stream in the other room from their Twitch handles. So like,
Love that.
No.
We love a good supportive
they
situation.
support. Yeah, we love So Super Mom and Dad.
Yay, that's
Oh.
awesome. How about you, Maya? I know your teacher parents were a little bit caught off guard, but
They
how did that happen? How did that work through?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not as, like, intense as time heals all wounds, but, like, definitely, like, they needed a year to get on, like, my side of feeling like, "Okay,
Sure.
maybe this is, like, actually a job." Because I think similar to Sam is just the whole idea that creativity is not something that is actually financially viable in a long-term
Right.
Mhm.
situation, and so, um, you know, I think especially going into something like architecture, which is, like, creative, but I think in a much more concrete sense of, like, okay, my child is gonna be studying this thing that's very applicable to the real world versus, like, "Ooh, I'm taking a break to focus on music, just think about my feelings." Like, that wasn't,
Right.
I think, something that they quite understood, but they were willing to give it, like, a chance for me to do that, but I think it was very conditional under the preface of me applying to college if it didn't work out. But then I think they watched me play my first live show and being able to, like, see the tangible experience of, like, hearing people sing along to the lyrics that I was writing and sharing with the world, like, that blew their minds, and, like,
That's
my
so cool.
dad yeah, it was so cool, and I think for
Yeah.
them to really get behind me and be like, "Oh my god, our daughter is doing this," like, that's really cool, like, my dad watches my Twitch streams, and he has his own handle called Father Tune on, like, all the
Father
different sites that he
Tune.
uses,
Oh,
so
I
it's like
love that.
yeah, they're very
Did
sweet
they
and they're
read
very
the
supportive.
Hypebeast article
They
about
okay,
their
the day
tiny
that I
teen?
told
Their
them
tiny
about
teen.
that, oh god, it was they had to do their own Google deep dive on who MXMTOON was and had to do their own research. Yeah.
That's awesome
Mhm.
though. That's great to just know that like, a lot of kids probably are struggling or nervous to try new things in case, what if their parents are going to think X, Y, and Z. But I think the whole thing that we've discovered from just chatting with the three of you is just that time heals everything and the support will come as long as you continue to push forward and make sure that it's worth it for yourself and everyone else. So that's really
Mhm.
awesome. My next question, I'm going to give you like a 27 seconds to think about it. I want you to close your eyes again. The
Very
year
Audemars
I
seconds.
know the year is 2007. Okay, think of 2007. What
Okay.
is playing on your iPod? And I said iPod because we had iPods in 2007 allegedly.
Oh, let
So
me look up what songs from 2007.
yeah, while you guys are
I
looking
actually
that
have
up, I'm
mine.
going to quickly let everybody know if in case they're just tuning in, you are watching Gen G's music in gaming stream here with our talent MXMTOON, So Super Sam and Abby Jasmine. This is in partnership with Urban Outfitters. As you can see the beautiful Urban Outfitters room behind us. It looks amazing. We even have vinyls as such. They're so fantastic. And we are doing this whole stream to raise money for charity, a nonprofit organization called Girls Who Code, and they are super super awesome. If you want to learn more about them, use the command charity to get all of the details, or go to girlswhocode.com for all of that information. And of course, when you donate, you will be not just donating straight to Girls Who Code, you will also be getting a chance to have some Genji merchandise and or an Urban Outfitters gift card. So if you use the command donate, you will get all the information when you click rewards. And I just want to shout out donos from Neff and Gina. Thank you so much as we are going for our
Yay.
goal with Girls Who Code. That's super, super awesome. Thank you so much for your donations. And of course, if anyone has any questions in the chat, feel free to sprinkle them in there and we will try our best to address all of them. Okay, I'm back, ladies. Have you
Okay.
thought of your 2007 song that is blasting on your iPod that you're scrolling away with? I was gonna say iPod Shuffle, but like, don't really know if we all had that one. I myself did not. I had a little mini that was
I
really,
I didn't
I
want
had
to
a
give away that
nano.
control. Like you can't
yeah.
Yeah.
have this
Yeah.
guy shuffle you. I don't want to be
No,
shuffled.
no, no, no.
Mm-mm.
Okay, we're gonna start. Abby, 2007. What is it that is
2007.
playing real hard in those earbuds?
Year 3000 by the Jonas Brothers.
Eh,
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Did not expect it,
Love
but
the
am
Jonas Brothers.
Were you
pleasantly
excited for the
surprised.
comeback?
Oh my god, my friends cannot relate because I'm so happy about it. Like, I'm a
so
sucker for
funny.
you. I screamed. I was like, the Jonas Brothers went #1. Everybody's like, okay.
Oh my gosh, that is
Like, y'all wouldn't
amazing.
understand.
I love that. How about you, Sam? 2007. What's playing?
Dude, I think I was very heavy into. I think there was a Timbaland album that came out that year. So like
Okay.
a lot of that like promiscuous girl.
Mhm.
I was
So
a backup
good.
dancer at the time, so I was doing a lot of anything that was danceable in dance class was
Sure.
that. So like Justin Timberlake, Neo, Kanye, that was my vibe back then.
Like, okay, so when you were bopping out to Promiscuous Girl, were you singing both parts or just just Nelly's part, Nelly Furtado's part?
Both. I mean, I think that Timbaland was doing a lot of melodic, like he
Mhm.
was pretty melodic on that song.
I
Mhm.
agree.
You
I
know?
feel yeah. That song definitely puts me in like two separate moods. Like I'm
Yeah,
singing the
like
first part and then I'm like, oh my God. So I understand that. And I just unfortunately had to share that to everyone watching here. So that's upsetting. But nevertheless, that's a
Yeah,
great song. That's a great bop. How
it's
about you,
good.
Maya? What was playing in 2007?
Okay, so my mom in 20 oh, it's not 20s, 2007, she had recently just given me her whole old, like, iPod Nano, and so I only had one song actually on it, and it was a
Oh,
music video for 1, 2, 3, 4 by Feist, and that is one of my all-time favorite songs still to this day. I was obsessed with that music video, and I watched it over and over and over again.
what does the music video even like look like? I don't
So
think I've ever
it's
seen
just
it.
like it's in like 140p and like you can barely make out what is on the screen, but like
Mhm.
there's just a bunch of people running around in like colorful leotards and it's one shot and it just like
It's a
they
one shot.
dance for like the one shot and like it's beautiful. It's super well choreographed. Yeah.
Love
Mhm.
Feist.
Love
Wow, I'm
Vice.
gonna have to look at that. I've never even seen it, but shot on a potato at 140p.
Pretty much like could have been on a Nintendo 3DS. Yeah.
Ooh, love it. It's like so it's hashtag vintage. It's fine. Like
Yes.
we love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, those are really great. Those are really great songs. We'll have to listen to all three of them now tonight for sure to like really get into the mood of this. And I'm really
The
excited.
vibe. All three of these songs
I
on
know
one playlist is
that
a
would
whole
be
vibe.
Sam. I'm gonna need you to do a mashup tonight, mixing those three together. So we'll be waiting patiently. Thank you so much for that. It's gonna be a bop.
it's the random Jonas Brothers vocals that's gonna come in. Like,
Yes.
It's gonna
They'll
be
carry it. Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
be beautiful. Well, speaking of music genres in general, like what are your guys' favorite music genres to listen to? I know that's kind of a loaded question because like I know I personally like so many things, but I really like to make you guys have to answer questions I don't have to answer. So with that being said, Maya, what are a few of your favorite genres if you have to pick like a couple, like one or two?
Okay, so I just love pop music, like, Dua Lipa's been on my, like,
Dua Lipa.
forever. I
that's
cannot
my
Lover.
stop listening to Super
girl.
Nostalgia. Like, that's why probably I already know, like, I listen to This Is Dua Lipa on Spotify, like, constantly. She's gonna be my number 1 artist. But I'm kind of like a wild card because I listen to, like, Nordic music and Bollywood music in the same, like,
Mm.
hour, so I'll listen to literally anything, but Dua Lipa is my go-to. Mhm.
Wow, she has range. She's got variety.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But Dua Lipa,
Such a
say
babe.
less. Ugh,
Yeah.
amazing. Sam, what about you? Favorite
Oh,
genres?
well, y'all know that I am a 90s R&B gyal.
Yes,
That's
yes.
my go-to genre. It just makes me feel good, warm, happy, and it is just the perfect thing to play in any situation. So, SWV, Boys to Men, Mariah Carey, circa 96,
Yes.
94. That's my
Any
vibes.
yeah, anytime I hear R&B, I'm like, this is probably a Super Sam mix. So I feel
Yeah.
that's very on brand for you. So it totally makes sense. How about you, Abby? Favorite genres?
Okay, so I love R&B. I love pop music. I've been listening to Miley Cyrus's album a lot lately. I don't know
Mm,
if y'all heard. It's so good. I think that's a
her
rock
voice.
album though, but she's so good. And like yeah, so her, K Tronada, love K Tronada. He just won a
Okay.
Grammy.
Oh,
Love
yes.
him. Um who else? Frank Ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I was really big like in high school I was really big on Odd Future, Tyler the Creator.
Mm,
Mhm.
mhm.
So yeah,
I like how we're
whole
all just
bunch of
like, yes,
Love
yes.
me
Mhm.
some Earl
Yeah.
Sweatshirt, yes.
Yeah, all three
Earl
are
was
Yes.
mine.
my guy.
He's so good.
Also,
Yeah,
like,
he's so
I
great.
mean, side note, I just recently rewatched Gossip Girl, and the music on Gossip Girl is actually
Great.
amazing. Like,
No,
fantastic.
Really
They
good.
had great sound direction because
Yeah, they had.
they were featuring
I
new
just
artists at the,
Mhm.
on every episode. That
Yeah,
was the
there's
whole thing.
like Frank Ocean's entire EP is on there. Like a lot of like alternative rock is on there, but like it's crazy how good the music is there. So if you want to like dip back into like 2008, 2009 vibes, like I'd suggest rewatching the whole 6 or 9 seasons of them. It's fine.
I
When does
just
the new
watched it for
Gossip
the first
Girl?
time.
When does the new Gossip Girl come out?
There's
Because
a
they're
new one?
revamping it.
Yeah, I know, but we never really I don't know if I really ever like a revamp, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna really feel about that. But Abby, did you
No
just
need
say
to
that you
ruin a
only
classic.
watched
You
it
just
for the
watched it?
first time?
Yeah, I just watched it for the first time maybe last year or 2 years ago. I watched it for the first time and I was shook. I watched it first because I think You had came out and my friend was like, "Oh, that's
yeah,
Gossip Girl."
It
Yeah,
is.
and my friend was like, "Oh, that's Gossip Girl." And I was like, "What?" So then I went and watched the whole thing and I was like, "Damn,
Mhm.
my son Joe." Mhm.
Yeah. The chat is saying, "Wow, Christina always finds a way to talk about Gossip Girl."
I
Always
do.
talking
Just
about Gossip
don't read the
It's such a
chat.
quality show though. It was so
It
good.
was such a good show.
I
So
would
good.
watch it again.
I'm
Yeah.
Team Blair all day.
Oh no, I love
Yeah.
Blair, so we're
Fucking
good.
Blair forever.
Yes. And Maya, you're in Brooklyn, so you're like you
You
are
are a Gossip Girl.
yeah, you are Gossip Girl.
You know, I don't know if I'm my life is not nearly dramatic enough to qualify
Right.
for Gossip Girl. I like wake up at 12 p.m. and go get a cup of tea and watch TV for like 5 hours. I don't do enough to be
Same.
on there. Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of you waking up, getting a cup of tea, and watching TV for 5 hours, I actually wanted to ask all three of you, like, what is like a typical day in the life for you? I mean, I'm sure not every day is like, I'm gonna sit down and write a song like that on like a legal pad for 5 hours. Like, that's probably not what's happening. And I know every day is gonna be completely different for you, but anything in regards to like music production or like when you're creating or when you're like really in the zone, like, what does that typical day kind of look like for you? And I'll start with you, Maya, because I know you just said the first full half of your day is drinking tea and watching TV, so you only have 12 more hours after that to really.
True. I mean, like, I think I mean, my own creative process when I'm writing, I typically tend to write at like 2 in the morning. Like, I cannot write when the sun is out for some reason. It just doesn't work like that. I have to make everything in the middle of the night, otherwise it's not happening at all. So I do a lot of my like creative stuff then. But if I'm in a pandemic and I'm trying to work on a song, typically I'll like sit on my computer and exchange emails back and forth with like a producer who's working remotely in another area, give notes back and forth on like a song. But yeah, a lot of it like just happens in your room when you're like in the middle of the night and the world kind of feels quiet for the first moment in the whole entire day and you can just sit down and work uninterrupted.
That's true. I feel like everything really great happens in the middle of the night, like when
True.
it's for yourself. So that makes a lot of
Mhm.
sense. How about you, Sam? What's the typical day in the life looking like for you whenever you are in between DJing, making sets, or even singing on your EP? Like, what does that all look like for you?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I mean, right now I'm the host of a radio show. It's every day, so I can record whenever I want. I like to wake up really early in the morning. I wake up at 6:30.
Wow.
I have my
Oh my
coffee.
gosh.
I like clear my head. I,
Felt that.
walk my dog, and I have a full morning. It's just me. I'm
Wow.
doing me stuff, journaling, reading, and then I record my radio show around like 9 a.m. And that's when I'm snapping the most. If there's emails that like need ideas and creative, input from me, that's when I'm on. And then I try to like leave my afternoons open to like go for a hike or take a nap. But
Wow.
for performing, so like DJ sets, yeah, anything like if I'm performing a song or if I'm writing a song, like that needs to happen at night. So it's a
Yes.
weird. I have a weird dichotomous existence. A lot of my DJing happens at nighttime, so it's kind of weird because I'm a morning person, but I have to work at night.
Good on
Yes.
you,
But I don't
though.
know.
More power to
Um,
you. That's so impressive.
but I love being awake in the morning. That's when I'm on. That's when I'm on.
So do you only sleep like 3 hours a day? Like, is that what you're telling me pretty much?
Yeah, I mean it's worked like that for a while. But that you guys, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, when can I sleep?
Right. Just
How long
don't.
is
It's fine.
bedtime? Okay, maybe like in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's okay. Who needs it? It's okay. You're fine.
I'll figure it out.
Abby, what about you?
Yeah, so I wake up I don't like to wake up early in the morning, but my body just does not let me sleep past like 8 o'clock latest. So usually I'm up at like 7. I mean, it's daylight savings now, so we're up
Right.
like, yeah. So I'll wake up, make a little smoothie. That's my thing lately, just making some smoothies, trying to be healthier, trying to live long. And yeah, my mornings are for me as well. Like I like to, smoke a little bit, play a game for a little bit till I gotta go outside, do what I have to do. And then when I'm in the studio, like I like to be there, at night just because I don't like to be interrupted during the day. I feel like the day is doing things I gotta like getting things I gotta get done like
Right.
before I go to the studio.
Right.
So yeah, and I have to like be by myself in the studio. Like they can be on the outside of the room, but I have to be in the booth like writing, doing everything by myself just because I don't like people looking me in my eyes when I'm
Exactly.
trying to write some music.
Too embarrassing. I can't do it.
Yes. Like
That makes a lot of sense. So you guys are pretty much all night owls for the most part, which is okay. That makes sense. But also, I'm nervous for your sleeping habits. But it's okay. Like, who needs sleep? We're all young, you know? Dot dot dot. Question mark. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you guys all get enough sleep. A nice 8 hours a day. Okay, I'm gonna go into another question that maybe taps into your memory a little bit. Is there any memorable music moment that has happened to you? Whether it is maybe like your first tour with Childish Gambino, although I would hope you say something different because I just said that for you, or anything in between that happened that is like a really memorable moment for you. It doesn't have to necessarily be a huge moment where you won a Grammy, but something in between where it really stuck with you, and that's something that you're always going to remember. So think about that for a second while I shout out Jordan. Thank you so much for the donation. Again, we are doing this stream, music and gaming, with MXMTOON, So Super Sam, and Abby Jasmine. It is brought to you by Urban Outfitters, and we are raising money for Girls Who Code. If you want any more info on Girls Who Code, it is a nonprofit organization, and you can get all of that detail using the command charity as well as the command donate. You get all that information on how you can donate. All of that goes straight to Girls Who Code, and you can get prizes, including merch and $10 Urban Outfitter gift cards while supplies last. So that is perfecto. Also, don't know if anyone has noticed, like the lighting has drastically changed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
now it's a little bit more moody. So we have range, and it's just amazing right here. So now we're back with your most memorable music moment. I'm going to start with you, Abby. Have you thought of anything? Is there any specific moment that you're like, this is what I'm putting on my tombstone? This moment that happened
Oh,
here in music.
yeah. Mine definitely has to be when I opened up for T-Pain on tour. That was lit.
Oh
That was
yes,
fun for
He's
Oh
me.
so
my
cool.
gosh.
he is so
I
cool.
love him. He's great. Like just his whole personality, watching him on stage I think we did 14 cities, 14 or
That's so
15.
cool. What year was
Yeah,
this?
we were going for this was 2019.
Oh
2019.
wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah. It was so fun. Like just being able to like sit with him, talk to him, like that's something I'll remember for the rest of
So
my life. Like
cool.
not y'all asking me to drive across the country.
That is so. He's just like the coolest guy, and his show
Yeah.
is so dynamic, and
Mhm.
you're just like, I saw him
Yeah.
perform at Soulquarius or one of those Smoking Grooves or something, and I was like
Mhm.
blown away at the way he programs his show. Just
Yeah,
a
everything's real
party.
calculated.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he's
I
just
have. Did you guys all watch the Tiny Desk concert that he had done with
Yes.
NPR?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was like mind blowing because I feel like everyone, especially like millennials, are like, oh yeah, it's just like T-Pain, it's like auto tune, and it's like all those old songs, but like the man's can sings. Like,
Oh
hello,
yeah.
He's
Like, it was
iconic for a
phenomenal.
reason.
Yes, and it was
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
amazing. So that is super, super awesome. That is a great moment. You can definitely write that on your tombstone. I'll allow
Mhm.
it. How about you, Sam?
First of all, T-Pain just seems like such a lovely human being. Like,
Right.
He's great.
he's on my list of people to book for 143.
Do it. Make it happen.
Oh, he's like
I-
my ultimate. He's so cool. I think he's so cool.
You've manifested it now. We've manifested it. It's
Come
happening.
on,
Right.
baby. Well, that will lead into my big moment. I think that I've had a lot of really cool moments. That but to speak on the one that I really want to share is we threw a 143. So 143 is my R&B party that I throw in LA, and it's been happening for this is gonna be 8 years.
That's
Wow.
The month at the Echoplex, but we've toured it all over the world. We've had live performers, ranging from Cisco to Masego to
Saweetie.
up and coming Saweetie. We had
Yes.
early Saweetie. We
Yes,
had
you did.
Lil Mo. We've had 112. Anyways, um, anyways, we kind of grew this party into basically a Thanksgiving rave that would happen once a year the night before Thanksgiving. And in 2019, we threw the biggest one ever, and it was basically a festival that I produced.
Oh wow.
And our lineup was insane. And so every time I think about it, it just like blows my mind that I was able to like use almost a decade of relationships and DJ experience and party event throwing experience that culminated into this insane night that we had Pilo, we had One Take J, we had Ray J, who brought out Brandy, we had
Oh, wow.
112, we had Chief Keef and A-Track. And then I DJ'd. We had a slew of DJs from the community. You know what I mean? And so it's like community, music industry. We had 3,000 people there on the night before Thanksgiving. We made all kinds of merch. We had a food truck court, which Christina Milian was making beignets in her beignet truck just to make it
Wow.
more
What?
R&B.
My God.
Christina
Christina Milian.
Milian has a beignet truck. And she pulled
Wow.
up to my party. And whilst 112 is doing their dance and all that, she's like serving beignets outside. And I don't know what gets more R&B than that. But the fact that, just years and years and years of like putting this party on to culminate to that moment is a lifetime achievement for me. And just beyond what I ever expected from that party. So shout out to my 143 family and everyone, a lot of SOSUPERSAM fans who have been supporting everything I do, including that insane night. That was a big
moment.
big
That's so
sentence.
dope.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
cool.
I
So we'll
was-
have to get Abby
yeah.
Jasmine and MXMTOON and T-Pain.
Yes.
And then, Vivalastina could host because
I'll just
she
be
pulled
yes.
up.
I was just gonna say, like, I was there, and like the most exciting thing for me was definitely, I mean, aside from all the musical guests, but like I loved the food trucks, and but I didn't know Christina Milian was doing beignet. Like, what was I doing? Probably just eating tacos. Like,
Either until they told me Christina Milian is wearing a beanie and a hoodie and she's serving beignets.
that's
That's so
R&B.
funny.
I love
It's
that.
So funny. Yeah.
Okay, Maya, I don't know how you're gonna top that. I'm just kidding, but
No, I know. I'm panicking. I'm like, oh my God, how do I create a story?
she's
or-
like, I too have thrown a festival.
Actually, I was at a festival with T-Pain and on the festival. No, I mean, my career is pretty young. I started making music in 2017, so it's been about 4 years now. But I've had like really crazy things happen. Like I think the craziest thing that's ever happened to me so far, is working with Carly Rae Jepsen. I grew
Love
up
her.
listening to Carly Rae Jepsen. I love her. Dedicated is like one of the best albums ever made, and so I was just like. I was working on a song for my EP last year, Dusk, and like my manager like said, "Oh, we could ask Carly's team if she wants to be a part of this." And I was like, "That's hilarious. Like, sure, you can ask Carly Rae Jepsen's team if she wants to work on it." There's my album there. Thank you,
Mhm.
Christina.
Got you.
But she responded and was like, "Yeah, I love this. Like, I'd love to work on it." And I have a
That's
little
so
note
cool.
from Carly above my mirror that's like, "Happy release day." She sent me like cookies the day that the song came out, and I was just like, "Thank
Well,
you."
you've done so
Aw.
many
Oh my
international
god.
collabs. You're so international, and you've done so many cool artist collabs that I like play on the radio. I'm
I
like, oh, here's
cannot believe I get
MXMTOON
to.
working with
Yeah.
That's fire.
XYZ. Like it just keeps going down the list. Your
It's been
catalog is
really fun.
crazy.
So
That is
that is like a crazy moment. I couldn't believe it, and like, I don't know. I'll die happy. I can't believe I got to work with CRJ. It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, these were all really great moments. So you'll all pass the vibe check and I'll allow it. That was fantastic. I love that. I'm gonna go to my very, very last question. And again, I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it. But if you had to give any advice to someone starting from scratch, wants to get into the music industry, wants to be a singer-songwriter, just has that drive, motivation, the talent, what is one piece of advice that you would give to them? And while you think about that, I'm going to give a shout out to our most recent dono from Koki Chag. Koki Chag? Koki
I
Chag.
know Koki.
Okay,
Yay.
perfect. Well, thank you so much for the dono. I was
Thank
like, I'm just gonna
you.
say it in different
It's
inflections
perfect.
and hope it's correct. But here we go. Thank you so much for the donation. We'd love to see it. All these donations are going straight to Girls Who Code. And if you need any more information on what Girls Who Code is, you can use the command charity as well as getting information on how to donate. Use the command donate. We are almost finished with this stream, but we will be using this whole donation for the rest of the month. And we have another stream tomorrow, so don't fret. But other than that, we're going to get back to our very last question in regards to what piece of advice would you give to someone who wants to start out in this industry? I'm going to start with Sam because you've been second in all of these question answers. So you're going to be first today.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think that this is simple. I would say start. You have to start. So
Yes.
I think that's a big thing. And it sounds simple, but you'd be surprised at how many people talk a lot and think a lot, but don't actually get around to doing it and starting. So starting is the hardest part. But once you start, just keep going. And I will say my next more pointed piece of advice would be to use your story and your unique individual experience, life experience, to tell your story. Like don't worry about trying to be anybody else. Don't worry about trying to fit in. I think all these ladies in this chat today have very, special, unique stories and life experiences to them, and that's what makes them incredible artists, and unlike anybody else. So I think that that's cool. If you are an astronaut and you want to start playing the cello, that do that and be that, and own everything you've done and been through, and let that play out in your brand and in your music. So say that.
I love it. Just start. Sounds so simple,
Just
but
start.
it
Go
is.
ahead.
It ain't. It ain't.
That's a good one.
How about
Mhm.
you, Abby? Any advice for anyone who start in the
Um,
industry?
I would say a consistency is key, like you got to keep working at it. Nothing's going to happen overnight, for some people, shout out to them. It does, but for, a lot of us, it doesn't happen overnight, so you have to remain consistent. It's going to be hard some days. Some days you're going to be like, why am I doing this? Like, keep going, keep doing it. Like, eventually you're going to be where you need to be.
Absolutely.
That's great
Love that.
advice.
That is great advice. How about you, Maya? Any last words for advice to someone who wants to start within the industry, the music industry?
Gosh, I feel like, Abby and Sam got like nailed it on the head. I think it really comes down to being able to tell your specific story as well as you possibly can because nobody's going to be able to tell it better than you. So why not just be as authentic as possible and be as true to yourself as you possibly can be? So, you're going to have an easier time if you're doing something creative and you're doing it the way that you want to do it and not trying to imitate other people, not trying to, follow the flow of what other individuals may say you should be doing. Trust your gut. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've had to do within my own career. And, it can be really scary, but it's worth it. Yeah. Mhm.
That's awesome. Yes, I loved it. I love all three of your guys' advice. We can jumble it together and make a very small pamphlet and pass them out to few
With
people.
our playlist, with our
With the, it'll
mashup.
be it'll be on our mix CDs that we're gonna be passing out in the back of like our cars.
So
It'll
follow
be
our vines. Follow our collective vine.
Yep. Follow our swag house vine. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. I love that. Okay. Well, that is all the questions that I have for you guys. I wanted to give you each an opportunity to kind of give your socials and anything like that, as well as any upcoming projects that we can be looking out for or anything that you want us to stay tuned for. So Maya, kick it off. Let us know.
I'm at MXMTOON anywhere there happens to be a social media breath, I am there. And you can listen to my music under MXMTOON, or you can follow my podcast 365 Days with MXMTOON. It'll be going till September every single day, talking about a historical event that happened on that day in history. Mhm.
Where's that on?
Yeah.
It's anywhere you listen to podcasts, so you
Oh, okay.
can listen to it wherever you want.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
When do you
like-
stream on Twitch?
Fridays and Sundays. I do variety, so anything under the sun, I'll do it.
This is true.
That's
Maya was
nice.
awesomely doing Among Us with us and Samsung, and she was like a masked Among Us person. It was amazing, just FYI. So
I was so excited to play with JoJo Siwa. That was really
oh, don't even get started with the mayhem that went on because we were
Oh my
so
god.
excited about that. So it was all exciting. But thank you so much for giving us all of that. We'll be sure to
Thank you.
look out for that. And also, I really want to actually check out that podcast because that sounds very
Me
educational, like high
too.
key. Sam, what about you? Any upcoming things or anything like that?
Yeah, you can find me on any platform at SOSUPERSAM. I stream on Twitch as well, once a week. That's Thursdays, 7 p.m. Shout out to my Sam fam. I know a lot of people are in the chat. So thank you so much for coming. And I'm on the radio, so you can check me out on SiriusXM 88 Rising Radio. That's channel 305. And my show is called So Super Sounds. I'm usually breaking all the new records from Asian artists all over the globe, which I really, really enjoy. And what else can I tell ya? That's pretty much it.
That
Just
you're gonna
kinda like
be working on
what?
your type racing, your words per minute.
Mm.
That's what you're gonna be working on daily.
Working on my goals, which is 100 words per minute, and check
Get
out.
on that. Get on that Mavis Beacon. You know what I mean? Like you need the Mavis Beacon.
I downloaded it and I was gonna
Did-
stream it, but I
Oh
downloaded
my.
a fraud. Did you know that if you go to Mavis Beacon and you download the thing, it's a scam?
No.
Mavis is a scam.
Is it like
So you
Marvis
heard it here
Cocoon?
first.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
was like, who's
Well, like you download the code or whatever, and then it's $5, and it pays some random personal PayPal account, which
Maybe
I
it's-
fell
Oh.
for.
Wow.
It's probably Mavis.
Oh no.
Mavis, I'm
Mavis
coming for you, and I
themselves.
want my
Oh my
$5
god.
back. Anyways, thank you so much, Jenny and Urban Outfitters, for having me. And really donate to Girls Who Code because, like, there are so many industries, such as music, such as computer science, that there is a gender inequality and underrepresentation. So if we can support all things for women to have a seat at the table, we need to do that.
Yes,
Mhm.
Thank you.
yes, and yes to everything that you said. Abby, what about you? Where can we catch you? Where can we listen?
Okay, so everything is my name, Abby Jasmine. Find my music, Abby Jasmine, Instagram, Twitter. I just got all my Twitch equipment, so I will be setting that up very soon.
Yes.
Finally
Perfect.
got
Ooh,
it.
that's
But
Gen 4.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it.
So
Awesome.
excited to hear your music.
Yes. We'll find you on Vine too, so it's okay. We've got you.
Oh, please don't.
Say less. Now I will be for sure after this. We're
Where are the
cutting this too.
archives?
I love it. Well, thank you so much, ladies. You guys are honestly an inspiration to not only myself, but to everyone probably listening, as well as anyone in the industry or even outside of the industry who just wants to start on something, whether it's a project, a dream, a passion project, anything in between. Like they all need that oomph, and it's great to see that sort of representation happening throughout. That'll kind of give people the guidance and the support to take that leap and take that move. So thank you so much for being here and being representative of awesome women in the industry. So that is great claps for you and all of that. And for everyone in the chat, thank you so much for watching Music and Gaming, our workshop by Genji, sponsored by Urban Outfitters. I like to go like this again because this is all by Urban Outfitters, as well as right here, Urban Outfitters.
Top
And
notch,
thank you.
top
I know, I
vinyl.
love it. Thank you so much for all of your donations to Girls Who Code. Again, we will be doing another stream tomorrow with beauty and gaming for cosplayers, as well as just beauty individuals in
Cute.
general. We'll be hosting. I will be hosting with Christology and Emily Gould as our guests, and we'll be just chatting about beauty as well. And again, raising money for Girls Who Code. And other than that, we'll be seeing you for the next one. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll chat soon.
You did a
Thank you.
great job.
We did a great job, ladies.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Vivalastina. You are such a great host.
We're such great hosts.
Oh my god. Good job, Tina.
Okay.